And lots of focus from the Supreme Court. News coming in at this point of time is that the Supreme Court has issued a notice through the West Bengal government on the alleged harassment of custom officials by state police for checking the baggage of the wife of TMC MP and Mamata Banerjee's nephew Abhishek Banerjee. Big news there coming in from the Supreme Court, and it also seems like a blow for the TMC government, especially Mamata Banerjee and her nephew Abhishek Banerjee. For viewers just joining us on this broadcast, there is news coming in from the Supreme Court, and Nalini Sharma will be joining us. We're getting news that the Supreme Court has issued a notice to the West Bengal government, to the TMC government, on the alleged harassment of customs officials by the state police for checking the baggage of the wife of TMC MP, who's also a nephew of the chief minister. In fact, the counsel for the West Bengal government was Abhishek Manu Singhvi. He wanted his objections to the customs petition be recorded in the court order. The CGI-led bench has made some observations which we're going to tell our viewers about. In fact, the CGI-led bench declined the objections that were raised. It went on to say that what is happening in West Bengal, we could have taken suo motu notice of the incident and had sought the state's response. So there is a big setback there coming in over the issue. This was also a story broken here on Republic TV. What we can tell our viewers at this point of time is that the Supreme Court has issued a notice to the West Bengal on the alleged harassment of customs officials by the state police. On whose behest did they do that? Nalini is joining us. No surprises there. Nalini, big story coming in at this point of time from the Supreme Court. Once again, there is a setback of sorts coming in for the Mamata Banerjee government, because the Supreme Court for now has issued a notice to the West Bengal government on the alleged harassment of customs officials. Break down the details for our viewers.
Yes, well, this is a plea that has been filed by TMC MP Abhishek Banerjee, who is also the nephew of Mamata Banerjee in this particular case. Now, he is specifically objecting to the fact that his wife's baggage was checked by the customs officials, and that is why he has moved the Supreme Court, asking for action to be taken against these customs officials. Now, specifically what Abhishek Manu Singhvi was asking for was all of the objections that were being raised by him in this particular plea to be made a part of the court order, which the Supreme Court has declined to do. They have said that none of these objections will be taken on record as of now, and unless the customs officials are not given a chance to come forth and bring forth their points of view on this particular aspect, the Supreme Court's not going to pass any order. So a notice has been issued in this particular regard to the West Bengal government. The Supreme Court is going to be hearing this case on details in the next date of hearing. There's no next date that has been specified as of yet, but of course it is Abhishek Banerjee who's moving the Supreme Court, who's trying to get some relief against the kind of interrogation and the checks that are being done not only on him but also his family members, keeping in mind that there is a steady crackdown of the investigating agencies not only against Mamata Banerjee but also against the family members, specifically Abhishek Banerjee as well as his wife.
But isn't this a setback, Nalini, because the notice for now has been issued to the West Bengal government over the alleged harassment of customs officials when that incident in fact took place? So with the Supreme Court now issuing a notice to the Bengal government, isn't this a setback coming in for the TMC?
Absolutely, most definitely it is, because now the West Bengal government will have to come forth and put forth their defense on exactly what went down during this entire time when Abhishek Banerjee's wife's bags were being checked by the customs officials. Now, the customs officials are claiming that there was harassment done from the state government side, trying to put undue pressure on them to not do such things, specifically when it comes to family members of Mamata Banerjee. But they were, despite that, what they are saying is that they were only performing their duties, keeping in line with exactly what they're supposed to do in their official line of duty as professionals, as customs officials. But they are alleging harassment before the Supreme Court, and a notice has been issued. So Mamata Banerjee herself will have to come forth and explain before the Supreme Court exactly what went down during this entire process that the customs officials are now alleging. Of course, it is a show by the TMC as well as Abhishek Banerjee and his wife that they are above the law and that they cannot be subjected to such checks, especially by customs officials. But Supreme Court has refused to take on record any of the objections that are being raised by them against this petition, and all they've said is that a notice will be issued to the West Bengal government only when the West Bengal government comes forth and explains before the Supreme Court exactly what has gone down, and after they hear the customs officials as well, will they be deciding on what the final verdict of this case is going to be.
Yes, Nalini, stay with us. Big development there coming in from the Supreme Court. Shravan Sen, senior news editor, also joining me on the phone line. Shravan, you've been tracking that story closely. What we can tell our viewers is that there is a setback coming in from multiple fronts. We also also know that the EC had earlier sought a report. We also know that the High Court also earlier had passed a sort of an order. In fact, it had asked Abhishek Banerjee's wife to appear before customs authorities. This has been happening since, in fact, that face-off took place in the Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Airport in Kolkata on her arrival from Bangkok, and the whole controversy about the checking of baggage and the face-off that happened after that. Shravan, as you've been tracking the details of that story, this also became a political flashpoint between the BJP and the TMC, with Abhishek Banerjee coming out addressing a press conference. What are the implications of this notice that now has been issued to the TMC government, the notice on the harassment of customs officials?
Well, in fact, Sagarika, as Nalini rightly pointed out, this is certainly a big setback for Abhishek Banerjee, the same person who had taken a press conference challenging anyone to put out any sort of evidence when it comes to that, when it comes to the very incident that actually took place. In fact, when the customs officials had sent out a notice asking Abhishek Banerjee's wife to present herself before the customs officials so that her statement could be recorded, we're given to understand that they not only refused but also gave a sense that no one can actually question her. Now, that's the point that was actually put across. But despite that, we've seen the customs officials time and again, they have said that they were doing their duty, because remember, there is a rule in place. Anyone who is basically coming from abroad, there is certain rules that have to be followed, and this is exactly what the customs officials were doing. And remember, these are checks that are being carried out not just to the VIPs, but also to every other passenger who comes in. So on what basis did Abhishek Banerjee's wife refuse to go through checks? That's still not very clear at this point in time. The other is also the role played by the local police, because questions have been raised in the way the local police has also acted in this particular manner, in this particular situation, where they refuse to cooperate with the customs officials. These are certain aspects that require some amount of investigation, which perhaps the state government has time and again blocked.
All right, Shravan, we also remember that admission had come in that very press conference that was held by Abhishek Banerjee, who is a TMC MP and also the nephew of Chief Minister of West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee. In that press conference, we clearly remember, Shravan, he had said that, yes, he said that a lady cop, in fact, had, yes, rushed to the airport. He tried he tried saying that because his wife allegedly was harassed by customs officials, a lady cop had rushed to the airport to, in fact, assist her. Now, this was a claim there made by the TMC and the TMC MP. What we've been hearing and what our sources have been telling us, that there was a face-off between Mamata Banerjee's cops and customs officials at the airport when the baggage of Abhishek Banerjee's wife was being checked on her return from Thailand. What is the police version as of now?
Well, as far as the police is concerned, remember, they have not even taken cognizance of this entire incident. Had this happened in any other state, perhaps you would have expected the state police to have also taken cognizance of the incident. You would have expected an FIR to have also been registered, but that did not take place when it comes to this very incident.
Right.
What is certainly unexpected, what is surprising in this entire incident is that not only this lady officer from the local police coming to the rescue of the individual that we're talking about, but also we are given to understand that senior officials from the Bidhannagar police station also came in to try and defuse the situation. On what basis did they actually arrive? Because remember, even the state police, there are certain amount of from their entire contingent which is always present at the airport. So why is it that the airport police did not act upon it? There are several questions that have come up since this particular incident, but there have been no answers to it. You still don't have the airport police registering any case. You still do not have Abhishek Banerjee's wife responding to the notice that was sent by the customs officials. Yes. And the fact is that after that particular incident, there have been other controversies that have come up also with regards to her own citizenship, where there have been the centre has also sent out a notice. In fact, the Ministry of Home Affairs has sent a notice to Abhishek Banerjee's wife with regards to a citizenship issue. But remember, there's been absolutely no response coming in from Abhishek Banerjee. In fact, he's been making it look like that this is some sort of an harassment on behalf of coming in from the centre.
Right. So Shravan, let's also tell our viewers about, so there seems to be a setback on three fronts coming in. Setback number one, obviously right now what we're getting to know is of the news that's coming in from the Supreme Court is that a notice has been issued to the West Bengal government on the alleged harassment of customs officials by Mamata Banerjee's police. So that's setback number one. Setback number two is that while the High Court has in fact asked the wife of TMC MP Abhishek Banerjee to respond to the summons till the July 31st, in fact, that summons remain. There's also another setback in this election season is that the Election Commission has also sought a report on the incident involving TMC MP Abhishek Banerjee's wife. So very soon, we will get to know, in fact, what transpired in the airport, what led to that face-off between Mamata's police and the customs officials. We'll in fact we'll probably slowly get to know the entire incident, what in fact transpired, and we'll know the veracity of the allegations that have been leveled. There is a charge I mentioned once again of gold smuggling. We'll get to the truth very, very soon. Big development coming in from the Supreme Court.